Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 9 p.m. English news edition. The top stories of tonight are: closing of the fourth edition of the Youth Citizenship Days in the Atta region, organized by the Ministry of Youth and Culture. And on the international scene, in Gaza, massacre of Al-Magdazi Hospital and UN warning on the spread of hunger. Welcome back in our newsroom. We begin tonight news with this farewell visit of the French ambassador to Djibouti. The president of the National Assembly, Dileta Mohamed Dileta, met with the French ambassador to Djibouti, Dana Bucaresco, as she paid him a farewell visit at the end of her diplomatic mission. During this warm and friendly meeting, the Speaker of the National Assembly highlighted the strong and historic ties between Djibouti and France. He praised Ambassador Bucaresco's important role in strengthening cooperation between the two countries, particularly in political, economic, cultural, and parliamentary field. Moving on to Ato region, the first edition of the Youth Citizenship Days ended with a strong message of solidarity and civic engagement. The final day held at Apifa was marked by a major blood donation drive. The event saw strong participation from 250 young attendees and their mentors. More than just a closing activity, the blood drive was a powerful expression of a civic duty from the youth of both the capital and the inter-regions. Their enthusiasm and pride was evident, with long lines forming to support this noble cause, a clear reminder that donating blood is saving lives. The initiative not only helped collect valuable blood donations, but also highlighted altruism as a key value among today's youth. Actions spoke louder than words, turning the end of these youth days into a real gesture of generosity and hope for the community. Let's recall that the fourth edition of the Youth Citizenship Days ended with a strong message of civic engagement. The closing ceremony of the fourth edition of the Youth Citizenship Day took place at Apifa, the Idris Farah Habane Police Academy, marking the end of a meaningful and enriching experience for the young participant. This final day featured two key moments highlighting both civic engagement and recognition of the effort made. Under the supervision of police and medical officers, participants took part in a blood donation session, a vital act of solidarity that raised awareness among the youth about the importance of giving blood and its role in supporting public health. The ceremony continued in the Academy's auditorium, where the young attendees were congratulated for their dedication and active involvement throughout the event. Certificates of participation were awarded to all participants and their mentors in recognition of their commitment over the course of the program. These moments reflected the true aim of the event to help shape not only future leaders but also responsible and engaged citizenship. And during the closing ceremony, Idris Musa, a senior advisor at the Ministry of Youth and Culture, spoke about the importance of the Youth Citizenship Days held at Idris Farah Habane Police Academy, Apifa. He said the event helped young people understand the value of giving back, especially through the blood donation campaign, which supported public health and showed a real solidarity. On behalf of the ministry, I'm proud to see how this program has inspired and empowered our youth, he said. Over the past few days, they took part in many activities that strengthened their sense of citizenship and national pride. He praised the final day as a great example of action over words, showing that young people are ready to help their communities. Mr. Musa also welcomed the certificate ceremony, which honored the efforts, responsibility, and teamwork. He ended by thanking all partners, security forces, civil institutions, and organizers, and promised the ministry's full support for future youth programs that help build a stronger nation. Other news, the third National Development Plan for 2025-2030 was officially launched in Djibouti City, marking a key step in shaping the country's future. As part of this launch, several weeks of national consultations were held in the capital, bringing together key stakeholders to discuss major themes such as employment, education, health, agriculture, and infrastructure as well. Discussion laid the foundation for an ambitious strategy aligned with the goals of Djibouti Vision 2035. Now the process is entering a new phase. A government delegation joined by technical experts has begun a tour across various regions of the country. The aim to bring the PND closer to local communities and ensure that their voices are heard. At these regional workshops gather local authorities, civil society representatives, entrepreneurs, youth leaders, and women activists. Together, they discuss the region's specific needs, development challenges, and priorities for the next decade. This focus on regional inclusion reflects the government's clear commitment to leave no one behind in the planning of the country's future. In the sport file now, the Hassan Sasso Judo Club recently organized a technical demonstration day for the young judoka of various age groups. The event held in the large multi-purpose hall of the Hassan Gulid Stadium was supervised by the experienced master Sensei Hassan Sasso. Parents, martial arts, and curious onlookers attended the event, which showcased the skill, discipline, and progress of young practitioners. Through dynamic demonstrations, the students displayed the physical and mental skills required in judo, the result of their hard work. Judo, a Japanese martial arts, is not only about a throw and hold, so it also builds both the body and the mind. This day highlighted social physical attributes like strength, endurance, flexibility, balance, coordination, and the ability to fall safely. But beyond the athletic aspect, the event emphasized the importance of mental qualities in judo practice, such as discipline, respect, self-confidence, determination, and teamwork. These are core values that Sensei Hassan Sasso constantly instills in his students, believing that judo is also a life school. Let's turn now to the next story. Fire broke out in cemetery in Humbuli. A fire broke out early this Sunday morning in the cemetery between the first and second Humbuli neighborhood, burning trees that had grown randomly in the area. Some illegal homes made of shit were also destroyed by the fire. Despite the difficulty in reaching the fire site, civil defense teams acted quickly and were able to control the fire, preventing from spreading to nearby areas. Several local officials visited the scene, including the prefect of Djibouti City, Abdi Seki, deputy director of civil protection, Colonel Abdelkader Abaizid, and the deputy of Humbuli neighborhood, Ibrahim Abdu. Their visit showed how closely the authorities are following such incidents, but luckily no one was injured. Bird migration in Djibouti during August. August in Djibouti marks an important time for bird migration as thousands of migratory birds pass through the country, taking advantage of its strategic location between Africa and Asia. Djibouti, located at the crossroad of several major migration routes, become a key stopover for many bird species heading to their wintering grounds in Africa. The Bab el Mandeb Strait is especially important, with over 1 million birds passing through it annually. In August, the first waves of wading birds like the curlew, the pintay, and the stone curlew can be seen along the Djiboutian coast. Wetlands such as Duda, Godoria, and Lakasal host huge numbers of waterfalls like flamingo, pelicans, cormorants, and other coastal birds, providing them with shelter and food. Another fascinating sight is the quiet but regular passage of birds of prey, such as eagle, on their way to sub-Saharan Africa. And now to conclude with the national news weather update. Rain in the region. As forecasted by the National Meteorological Agency, the seasonal rains Karmakaran for August are expected to be above the usual average. The rains have affected almost the entire country. This morning, August 17, 2025, rain was recorded in the region around 3 a.m., affecting the capital and several nearby areas. The city received 7 millimeters of rainfall, while Mulud saw 14 millimeters. Other areas affected included Gorabous with 10 millimeters and Asaila with 13 millimeters. On the regional scene now, Ethiopia's Ministry of Innovation and Technology has successfully launched the Ethiopian Programmers Program, providing training in programming, coding, and digital skills to over 1 million young Ethiopians. The initiative aims to equip the youth with the skills needed for the growing digital job market and position Ethiopia as a competitive player in the global tech industry. Now concerning the CHAN 2025, Madagascar secured a dramatic 2-1 victory over Burkina Faso in the African Nation Championships with the goals from Razafi Maro and Lailaina, the latter scoring a winning penalty. Meanwhile, Tanzania struggles to break down the Central African Republic defense, ending in a goals draw. And on the international scene now, funding cuts threaten malaria prevention efforts in Africa. A new report warns that reduced funding for a malaria prevention program is putting millions of African children at risk, especially as the rainy season approaches. Malaria causes around 600,000 deaths annually, mainly among children under 5. Experts fear that funding cuts could disrupt vital prevention campaigns, leading to more infections and death. Massacre at Al-Maghdasi Hospital and hunger crisis in Gaza. A drone strike by Israeli forces at Al-Maghdasi Hospital in Gaza killed 7 Palestinians on Sunday. Meanwhile, the UNY warned that hunger is spreading rapidly in Gaza, with 251 deaths from famine and malnutrition, including 108 children. The agency urged the lifting of the blockade to allow aid and called for an independent investigation into the killings. So that's it for tonight's news. Thanks for being with us and have a good time.